What is going on, Timberwolves fans? I am Tyrus. I am your host of Timberwolves Today. This is episode number 5. We're coming to you on Monday 4th, but it's going to be Tuesday when this video comes out. I'm excited to be talking to you guys again. We've had some pretty good responses. Keep dropping those comments. I love seeing it. Let's grow this account together. Be awesome. I love seeing Timberwolves fans. We're definitely Minnesota's smallest cheer for team. So finding Timberwolves fan in the wild, not easy. But let's unite. Let's unite here, Be good stuff. Starting us off with some small news. There's no small news, only small reporters. I think is how the quote goes. Anyways, the Timberwolves signed Johnny Juzang to a 1-year non-guaranteed deal. Probably means nothing. It's probably nothing to even consider or talk about more than a couple sentences, but they signed him on the 1st, and I unfortunately missed that article. I did not see Shams tweet that. I normally see everything Shams tweet. I am a lover of the little guys. Johnny was a great college player at UCLA. He was part of that Final Four run they made, actually. I thought he was going to be more of an NBA presence than he has been. That being said, he's averaged almost 10 points while at Utah. And, that's no small feat to average 10 points per game in the NBA. So I'm pretty impressed with the guy. I am. And I'm hoping that he can find a spot on this deep roster of Timberwolves players. It's a team that, we have seen great success from guys coming from Utah. Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, other former Utah shooting guard who's just looking for his role in the NBA. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, ringing any bells. I'm excited to see if he actually gets some playing minutes, and when he does, what he does with them. I think he could be a great player for us if it's even a small role. That's one more Timberwolf I get to cheer for, Really excited to see what he can do. But let's talk about some guys who haven't signed with the Timberwolves yet, but I want them to. That would be Malcolm Brogdon. I think he's been looked at to get a veteran's minimum deal from a bunch of different teams, including us, the Clippers. There's been some other teams that got talked about. The Clippers are kind of out of it. They've spent their money. They ended up signing Ty Washington, so it kind of rules them out. Keeps us in the race. I hope he signs with us for that veterans minimum deal. It'd be a good deal for us, good deal for him. He gets to come, kind of play, probably be our second point guard. Let Rob just continue to be our third on the depth chart until he's really ready. I have some ideas on another guy who could play point guard. We'll get to that in a second. But I think it'd be really good for both the team and Brogdon. Brogdon is a veteran. He'd be able to come in, kind of show Rob the ropes, be another guy for Ant to talk to as a veteran. There's more opportunity for him with us than not on our team. I think there's a lot of teams that are getting older players and just kind of the all-in mentality, like the Clippers. I could see him signing with the Nuggets and, playing a pretty sizable and good role there. But I really think he would fit in best with the Timberwolves, both in terms of like what we're looking for. We're looking for a guy who can facilitate. And Brogdon is a very good facilitator from what I've seen from him. I can't say I'm number one Malcolm Brogdon fan, but I've seen enough of him to know that he is a good player, So fingers crossed that a guy like that wants to come play for us. And also, it's tough with the veterans minimum role. The CBA is really messing with guys. Like, we just saw Fox and Luka get paid like a bag handsomely. They're like both going to make over $60 million over the next few years. Like, it's going to be crazy. Like, where are we going to be at in a couple more years where Ant's going to be making $60 million? We're going to be able to afford one more kind of star to go alongside him. That's a lot of guys who have to walk away. OKC is going to have to navigate that after this season. I'll be curious to see who they have outside of their starting 5. I think this new CBA needs to be adjusted. The NBA is like really the only team that struggles with keeping pay equal across, positions and whatever. The NBA, the NFL doesn't really see the same problems that the NBA does. You pay your quarterback and position players, both sides, defensive, offensive, a lot of money, and then you kind of fill the gaps with the kickers, some linemen. Like, not everyone's getting paid the same, but at the top of their positions, a lineman is still making less than Patrick Mahomes, he could be the best lineman in the entire league, but he's not going to get paid the same money as a quarterback. Whereas in the NBA, the number one overall center, let's call him Jokic, um, he's going to make a lot of money. He's going to make more than possibly the best point guard in the league. It's a very unbalanced system right now that I think needs some readjustment in some sort of way after this current CBA is up. But, I don't want to get too in the weeds on talking about a bunch of stuff that is yet to happen. So let's talk about some more stuff that isn't going to happen probably. Let's talk about, can Dante just be our point guard this season? I really enjoyed watching Dante when he wasn't coming off the bench. He kind of found his stroke early and often when he was starting, when Mike was out for a little bit, or, they just decided that Dante was a better fit with the starters. He is. When he's starting, his shot falls a lot smoother. He doesn't miss as much, which is crazy to say, but I think he just needs consistency. And that was the case on every team he's been on. He's been like with the Bucks early in his career. He struggled with consistency, so they sent him off to maybe he signed there. No, he did get traded to Golden State, and he was pretty good there, obviously. And then when he eventually came to us down the line after the Knicks were in there, of course, I know that. But it was with the Knicks that he found that consistent role and was able to just grow his game. I really think Dante could sit in that point guard position, not really be a point guard as far as like facilitating the ball, but just be a shot maker. Like Ant can be a ball handler and whatever. We've seen him create shots for lots of guys. So let's leave the shot making to someone else then for once. I think it could be a cost-effective way. Like Dante doesn't make a ton, and we could see Mike Conley leave after the season. If we don't have anyone outside of Rob that can handle the ball or be in that point guard position other than him, that's kind of worrisome. That's why wouldn't mind getting a guy on a 2-year deal like Brogdon. Seems reasonable enough that I think it makes sense. I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm no super genius when it comes to setting lineups, whatever. I've spent my I've played my fair amount of NBA 2K, doing some team builder or that type of stuff where you can just change guys' positions willy-nilly, up their overall, and then next thing you know, they're the greatest player at their position. But I've never done it in real life. I don't know if it's that easy. Tim Conley just kind of needs to be trusted here, and we need Finch to, give some guys some actual minutes so that we can see what they're made of. Please just give Dillingham like 10 minutes a game. Please. We need to see if this 8th overall pick was actually worth it or not. And lastly, but not least, we've talked a little bit about the Timberwolves getting not only a new jersey in the trees coming back, we talked about officially getting the Prince jersey back too. Both of those are huge jerseys, and it feels like we're kind of just running back the 2018-2019 kit where we had our home and away. We had the neon green. Hate the neon green. Then we had the Prince in the trees actually that year. Who could forget Derrick Rose dropping 50 points in the trees? If they weren't iconic then, they are now. That was that was my first Timberwolves game actually. So I love the trees, and I love the current look of the trees that we have. So I think we're really in a good spot, but it feels like we're just kind of testing the waters here to see what fans like the most. New ownership typically, will come in and change some stuff, whether that's players like the Celtics, they're just kind of kicking the bucket around this year. Or, they might go through a whole new rebrand with jersey colors, logos, and whatever, like the Clippers did way back when. I think a jersey and logo rebrand are on the horizon for us. I think we'll probably end up going back to the old colors of the classic jersey that we wore 2 seasons ago. I think that blue, green, and white are going to come back. We don't even wear gray really, other than the alternate jersey we have. But the gray that's in our logo isn't on our jerseys really that I can think of. Even in the numbers, it's not really on there. So I think it's on the horizon. I think it's a good thing. We have one of the best looking jersey sets when we're not wearing our home and away. We do have a really good color. That blue and green are awesome. Whether the neon green is good. The neon green and the current blue are good, but we just need to see them get a little bit better, and I think a rebrand next year could really help this team. Not only, it's not going to win games. Like, changing your jersey doesn't win games, but it does put butts in seats, and it sells tickets, and it sells jerseys. And those jerseys and tickets pay for Anthony Edwards to retire as a Timberwolf with a championship. So let's keep all that in mind, and I will see you guys next time. We're ending the video with the 2018 legend Mitch Creek. See you guys next time.